up guys, welcome to iDevice Central. My name is George. Today we're discussing about iOS 9.3 and 9.3.1 jailbreak status, and the latest update is available. So what is going on about the jailbreak status? Why we don't see any jailbreak? What is going on in this field? Well, apparently Apple started to play it hard. So about iOS 9.3.2 first, they released an iOS beta for iOS 9.3.2 containing a lot of developer related things, but this iOS 9.3.2 doesn't even have a release note. So apparently it was just something to bring the jailbreak on their knees. So what is going on with iOS 9.3.2? As you can see, Apple released on the March 31, 2016 iOS 9.3.1, which allegedly was a fix for the Safari bug that had something to do with links being opened and freezing up applications. Well, after releasing iOS 9.3.1 on March 31, on April 6, at almost a week, or at a week after the 9.3.1 release, they started to see iOS 9.3.2 beta, which of course doesn't even have a release log, therefore is not something very important. Well, this has two different outcomes. The first one, it makes the jailbreak harder a little bit, because if they release iOS 9.3.2, the jailbreakers would have to retest their applications, to retest their exploits, and to start decrypting the firmware and so on. Because new iOS version means new keys for iBack, for IBSS, for iBoot, for kernel, for anything. Therefore, they have to find the keys again. But this is not a very big slowdown on the jailbreak scene, but it's of course something that might bring them to their knees, at least for some days. So, what is going on? In the latest days, we've seen some speculations about ANMTW having a jailbreak, and a lot of other Twitter accounts promising you a jailbreak for iOS 9.3.1 and even iOS 9.3 or iOS 9.2.1. Unfortunately, the truth is another one. And ANMTW doesn't really have a jailbreak. It was kind of like an April 1st prank or something like that, from what I heard, and he started arguing with Sorek being the creator of Cydia application, and yeah, this is not something you do. You are a jailbreaker, you want to integrate Cydia in your application. You don't start arguing with Cydia creator. Anyways, as multiple YouTube accounts confirmed, ANMTW won't bring any jailbreak to the scene, as I predicted on my latest videos. If you want to see that video in which I'm talking about ANMTW, I'll put a link in the video right here on your screen via a card or a annotation. So, speaking about the latest stable jailbreak tool, well, Pangu released the latest stable jailbreak tool for iOS 9.1. Of course, it was something good, because it was a jailbreak solution after a long wait. The latest available jailbreak solution was for iOS 9.0.2, which was definitely old. iOS 9.1 is still installed on some devices, and they actually managed to jailbreak a few of them. Of course, it had a downfall, but they managed to fix it. It was that problem that get your device resetted or stuck in the Apple logo after you jailbreak and you restart your phone. But of course they fixed it using Pangu Untether. And I also have a video on how to fix the device if it's stuck on Apple logo after you jailbreak on iOS 9.9.1. And if you want to see that video, it's in a card right in this corner right now. So, iOS 9.1 has a jailbreak, and it's the latest version having a jailbreak. Anything you see on the internet about iOS 9.2.1, 9.2 or iOS 9.3 or 9.3.1 having a jailbreak is totally fake. Unless it's from Pangu or from TaiG, then I don't think it's something real, and I don't think you have to mess with that. What about TaiG, you should say? TaiG has the latest version of jailbreak for iOS 8.1.3 to iOS 8.4. Kinda old, you should say. yes, they are kind of old, but from what I heard, they are both Pangu and Taiji are working for iOS 9.3 or 9.x jailbreak. Therefore, they both are trustworthy sources. They're both reliable, and you shouldn't let them out of consideration. But your focus must be on Pangu. Pangu must likely be the one who will release iOS 9.3 or iOS 9.3.1 jailbreak. So after releasing iOS 9.1, at a few time after that, tvOS 9.0.1 received a jailbreak. You should probably say, tvOS, okay. It's Apple TV's operating system, and iOS 9.0.1 looks old, but tvOS 9.0.1 jailbreak, it's very okay, as the latest one was via Season Pass, which was available for iOS 7.1.2. Therefore, it's a big up. So, why it takes so long, basically? You know, Apple released a lot of features. Apple released a lot of updates lately, and as I said in the developer portal right here, where we can access partially without an account, you can always see betas, and you can always see new versions coming and coming and coming. But from iOS 9.1, which was jailbroken via another exploit created by another one, the situation got worse. Now, Pangu had to retreat everything up. Pangu had to research for iOS exploits again, and starting with iOS 9.0.2, which was the latest version, things changed worsely. Now, on iOS 9.1, Apple blocked or killed the exploits from iOS 9.0.2 created by Pangu, and therefore they basically made Pangu to crash. So what is going on? Is it still crashed? Nope, it's not crashed. We should expect a jailbreak for iOS 9.3.1 or something like that very soon, but of course it takes a little bit. Don't forget that after a release of an iOS version, it always takes a little bit. I know the March event, 21 March event, when iOS 9.3 was released, passed away from there are a couple of days, but it's very important to be patient and not to fall to other sources. You'll find on Google a lot of information about jailbreaking and about websites that claim to have iOS 9.3.1 jailbreak, and those websites look pretty good and pretty convincing, but don't fall for them, because if Pangu can't jailbreak iOS 9.3 for the moment, then I really doubt that someone who has no reputation on this field, about whom you never heard, can jailbreak. So you better stay on the Pangu or Taiji, focused on those channels, on my channel or I Crack Your Device channel and so on, in order to get to always get updates. And yeah, so why it takes so long? Because they have to test, patch, find, test again, patch again, test again. Because as you can see, Apple is playing a cat and mouse game with Pangu jailbreak and with also Taiji. Pangu has to get a stable release of iOS in order to work with it. They have it, but if Apple continues to bring updates, for example iOS 9.3.2, which is a very small update for developers, then they have to retest again, to redo things again, and this means a lot of time. This means a lot of waiting time for people who want to jailbreak. If you go on Reddit, on the Jailbreak Reddit page, you will see a lot of people simply asking when the jailbreak will be out. We want a jailbreak. We only want a jailbreak. Okay, you only want a jailbreak, but if you only want a jailbreak, the jailbreak can't simply come from the skies and land on a runway and you take it and you jailbreak your device. Somebody has to make this jailbreak, and those guys aren't paid. So most likely they work in their free time, and if they do work in their free time, then it means we have to wait a little bit for them to complete things. we better leave them alone and wait for them to complete the jailbreak processes, because if we don't and if we put pressure on the Pangu team, they might stop creating iOS jailbreaks, or if they release jailbreaks faster than expected, they might have bugs like the one that crashed your device and put it on a boot loop after you jailbroken with iOS 9.1. So better safe than sorry is my opinion. And if we want something quality, which is a jailbreak both in quality and both in functions, we need to wait, and we need not to put pressure on jailbreak teams, because they won't work faster if we always say we want a jailbreak, we want a jailbreak. They will create a jailbreak when they will have exploits. You need at least 10 exploits for creating a good jailbreak, and when everything would be okay. But I have some good news for you too. If iOS 9.3.2 is released, it means that Apple is trying to settle down with iOS 9.x and start working for iOS X or iOS 10. Nobody knows if it will be iOS 10 or X. For the moment we have no leaks, but Apple can't stay on iOS 9.x forever. This means that they have to start working for iOS 10 as soon as possible, because we're expecting an iPhone 7 on the fall. That iPhone 7 has to be the best. Apple has to sell things, and if they want to sell things out, they have to work very good on the operating system too. So they will settle down with iOS 9.x soon, and of course this means that Apple won't threaten any jailbreak team anymore for at least a couple of time. So what it means for you? It means that you will be able to jailbreak iOS 9.3.2, for example, and the jailbreak will be patched after that, but will be patched after a very long time frame. It won't be patched the next day, which happened, and it's pretty much very bad when you start to create a jailbreak application and it got patched on the very next day. So this is basically why Pangu probably waits a little bit. They simply want Apple to stop creating any updates, to start working for iOS 10, and to get their hands busy with iOS 10, and therefore they will release a jailbreak for iOS 9.3.1 and so on, because it will be safer and they can target a lot of devices at the same time without risking to get it patched the next day. So in my other videos, I put a card right here if you want to see it. There was a question I addressed to you. Do you think this is the end of the jailbreak? When Apple will actually win this battle with jailbreak teams, it will be bad. But for the moment, I really doubt this is the end of jailbreak. And just because Pangu released iOS 9.1 jailbreak, even if the firmware wasn't signed anymore, it's not the end of jailbreak. They did that because they have the exploit from Lucky Heart, and of course if they have an exploit, why don't they use it? You would probably be asking. Because an iOS 9.1 jailbreak wasn't available, and they had an exploit. They've been given an exploit from Lucky Heart, so why shouldn't they use it? I mean, this doesn't mean it's the end of jailbreak. Stop telling that to anyone on Twitter, anyone on Reddit, on the jailbreak, and so on. Because no, it's not the end of jailbreak. It's just a time frame we have to pass on, and it's just something that we have to simply pass. It's not something we can do. We cannot help Taiji or Pangu anymore with something. It's their work and it's their exploits, and we simply have to wait until everything is complete. I am on iOS 9.1. Should I update? Yep. You are on iOS 9.1, but you shouldn't update. What is the problem? Well, if you're on iOS 9.1, you're of course jailbroken, because as I said, an iOS 9.1 jailbreak is available. Of course, a lot of people aren't on iOS 9.1 for the moment, and no, for the moment there is no possible way to downgrade to any software you want. Apple has a comprehensive system to prevent downgrading of iOS operating system. And if you manage to skip the hashes and downgrade the operating system itself, you will get stopped when you want to downgrade the baseband, because downgrading the baseband is a pain. You cannot do that unless you are very experienced and unless you have a boot room exploit or something like that. So no, downgrading is not a solution. But if you are still on a jailbreakable firmware, I highly recommend you to stay on your jailbreakable firmware and do not update to iOS 9.2.1 or 9.3.1 or iOS 9.3 or 9.3.2 just because of features. And don't forget, Night Shift and any other good features from iOS 9.3 and iOS 9.3.1 aren't available for x32 devices. What this means? Of course, this means that Apple is slightly trying to break out these devices. They're trying to get them killed, and of course trying to force you a little bit to go to a different device. For example, to iPhone SE Special Edition. What means x32 devices? Well, of course, iPhone 4S, iPhone 5, iPhone 5C. Those are x32 devices, and iOS 9.3 Night Shift and any other good feature is not available for those devices. If you install iOS 9.3 or 9.3.1 on your iPhone 5 or iPhone 5C, you won't be able to use Night Shift, and you don't even have it on your Action Center. This means, of course, it's kind of an attempt to drop the iPhone 5, the iPhone 5C, and the iPhone 4S. And it does have a logic, because they released iPhone SE to have the look of the iPhone 5 or of the iPhone 5S and so on. And the iPhone SE has an A9 processor, which means it's very, very powerful, and of course it's not very, very expensive. Therefore, they no longer need the iPhone 5, the iPhone 4S, which of course are no longer produced. But if they are no longer produced, why would they create an update for it? So I think iPhone 5 and iPhone 4S and most likely iPhone 5C will get dropped by Apple by the launch of iPhone 7 and 7S. This is how it goes. This is what happened to iPhone 4 and will probably happen to iPhone 4S and 5 soon. So do not update on your iPhone if you are on x32 device just for those features, because you won't get them, but you will renounce on something very important, which is definitely the jailbreak. So the bottom line, if you want to stay updated, don't forget to always check Pango's website. As you can see, they have a header right here, and you can always see at the first glance what's going on, what's the latest firmware that can be jailbroken. For example, it says Pango jailbreak for iOS 9.0 to 9.1, and you know it's for 9.1 maximum, and it's very easy to get it, and you just have to access english.pango.io. Do not fall for Apple updates. Avoid them as much as possible, because out of the blue, Pango can release again on iOS 9.2, 9.2.1, 9.3 jailbreak, and if you are on the latest version, you cannot downgrade, as I said earlier, and yeah, you will start suffering again. Also take a look on iOS 8.4's page for TyG, because even if they latestly released iOS 8.4 jailbreak, doesn't mean that they are not working for something for iOS 9.3. So keep an eye on them too. The address is www.tyg.com, and those are only their addresses. Do not fall for any other website that look like TyG or that promise to be TyG, because this is the only website. Also, don't forget to take a look on our forums at forum.fc365.info, where you can find a lot of useful information on iOS super user, and of course we can talk about anything you need on iOS. And yeah, you put questions, we put answers, and so on. And lately, but not the last, don't forget to check the channel. Here I have in this corner iOS jailbreak updates, and you will always stay updated. As you can see, the latest update is from 20 hours ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 1 week ago, 1 week ago, and so on. So everything that might be important for jailbreaking will be posted on this playlist. Don't forget to subscribe, it doesn't cost anything, it's free, and you always stay updated. Stay updated from as much sources as you want, and never give up on waiting for a jailbreak, because it's not something that you will never see. It's something that is definitely being working on. So this is basically it, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for being with me in this video, and I really hope you understood what's going on in the jailbreak scene. There is no currently available jailbreak for iOS 9.3.1, but this doesn't mean that there won't be in the future. So we just have to wait, and don't forget, the moment it will get released, I will wake up at 3 AM if it's necessary, and I will make a video for you in order to stay updated on jailbreak status. So be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. Tell me in the comments if you like the structure of this video and if you want some improvements on it. And till the next time, peace out, guys.